So you're scrolling on TikTok and the time just flies behind you. You completely lose track of time. You have work to do, you have homework to do, but you're just distracted. You can't pay attention. As you start trying to write or trying to memorize, you get a notification on your phone. You can't help but look. Maybe it's something important, or maybe you're just lying to yourself. You don't need to check your phone every 5 minutes. But we've been so conditioned in this world that we need to check every notification. We need to get instant gratification. We cannot hold out a little bit longer to experience better results. You may be struggling. You may not be able to control yourself. You may not be able to focus or achieve any of your goals. Now, like you, I've been down this path. I've been addicted to playing games for most of my life. And I've been, I am overweight right now. And why is that? Because I've been conditioned over my whole life to eat what tastes good, eat when I feel like it. I don't need to check my health. I don't need to check my calories. Now we know that this is a lie. We need to be careful and intentional with what we do, with what we eat, with what we consume. And so, why do we need to delay instant gratification? Now, this is actually because of dopamine. And you may have heard a lot of these people on the internet saying that we need to go on a dopamine detox. So what actually is a dopamine detox? Well, basically that means to completely remove yourself or remove any external um, factors that are influencing you, right? So completely disconnect from your phone, disconnect from your playing games or anything like that. I mean, if everything was perfect, you would, go on a vacation to some, like cabin in the woods or by a lake or something, and you would just completely disconnect from everything on the internet, right? You would just sit there, read a book, look over the lake, meditate. And so this is kind of what a detox is. You need to remove all these different distractions and influences from your life, right? I challenge you to try this for a month or two, even for a week, maybe even for a day. It could be that all consuming, right? You may be struggling with this that much that it's hard to detox for even an hour, right? So we've been conditioned so much to seek these different gratifications, right? We can't hold out on playing games. We can't hold out on checking our phone. We can't hold out on having intimate relationships. Now, what's more important? What would you rather do? Sit at home watching porn? Or would you actually be with a real person, in person, and actually discuss and talk and have a meaningful conversation? So, we know that we need to avoid excessive stimulation, right? So, again, this means avoid the phone, avoid the games, turn down your Discord, try to meditate. One actionable step, something that you could actually try, is literally sit in front of a blank wall, right? I know that sounds crazy, but turn off all your notifications, turn off all your equipment, right? All your electronics, and literally sit in front of a blank wall for like an hour or even 30 minutes and just see where your mind goes. Allow your mind to actually think, to actually generate ideas, right? We're constantly receiving stimulation from things, but we're not actually letting our mind imagine. The only time our mind actually gets the ability to do that is when it's bored, right? So don't have any stimulation and just actually think. Let your mind wander and drift, and right? So I challenge you to do that today. The next thing, we need to set some goals, right? So we're trying to control our dopamine, right? And again, dopamine is like, let's call it your levels of happiness or your sense of achievement, right? So you play a video game and you just beat this character, you finally won, and you become like really happy and excited, right? But because you're being overstimulated by this, your baseline level keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. So we need to reset that, because you know that after playing games for years, you just don't find it as fun anymore, right? And that's because your baseline level has dropped so drastically. Sorry for the dogs outside. Anyway, so we need to like try to raise our baseline level again, right? And the only way to do that is to find enjoyment in the simple things. Find enjoyment in the silence. Find enjoyment again from just reading a book, right? So these are some things we can do, and we can set goals by, let's say, dedicating an hour or 30 minutes a day to just complete distraction-free dopamine detox. You could set bigger goals like for a week, a month, a year, depending on what you're able to do at the moment. So a very important part of dopamine and dopamine detox is actually delaying gratification. So what does it mean to delay gratification? That means that you feel like you want to eat something right now. You really, really want to eat that burger, right? You know it's not good for you. So you just don't eat it. You don't eat the burger. You wait. You do exercise. You actually do the work, right? And then later you actually eat that burger, or in a better case, you would eat like a steak or something healthy, right? But instead of eating it right now, you delay the time to when you actually eat it. And this works the same with exercise, right? When you do exercise, you're not, you're not having enjoyment right now. You're putting your body through stress, right? But the delayed gratification comes later, in a year or two, when you're fit and strong and healthy. Now you've delayed that gratification. Many people want to just do a quick fix. They'll take a crash diet. They want to see instant results. Or they take the new greatest pill or something to just shortcut that process, right? People would like cut away or have the liposuction, I believe, to just remove all the fat. But then within some days or years or months, all of that weight comes back. Why? Because they went for the fast route and didn't actually build the habits to sustain that physique. So delaying your gratification, actually doing the hard work now so that you can reap the rewards later. That's basically the concept of delaying gratification, right? Instead of watching porn and whacking off, right? Instead of doing that, you delay. You don't do that. And instead you build a meaningful relationship with a real person, and then you're able to do that with the person, with a real human being, right? So you have to delay that urge, hold it in, keep it back. And actually by doing that, you strengthen your power as a man, right? It's kind of our power source, right? If you want to think of like us as humans, or us as men specifically, our superpower is actually our testosterone, right? And so by delaying gratification, we actually increase and improve our testosterone because we're doing the hard work to reap the rewards later. So it's a very important concept to actually understand that. So again, tying this all in, we need to seek natural rewards, right? So this means Instead of finding your gratification from watching porn, from playing video games, you should find that gratification in real things, right? Like having a real meaningful relationship, or going to the gym, doing a hobby, outside, taking a walk. These are things that we can do that will um, help improve our dopamine, and they're things in the real world that we can find enjoyment from. Okay? It really helps to form a routine. So, especially in the beginning, if you're struggling to do this, it's very important to set a routine. Put out 1 hour, 2 hour, 30 minutes every single day to follow a routine and a ritual of things that you can do. Like, for example, 30 minutes of meditation, sitting in front of a blank wall for an hour, turning off your phone, going for a walk. So you need to set a routine that you can follow, and that will actually help you to build those habits over time. And eventually you might not need the routine because it becomes a habit, right? So, but initially it really helps to start forming some kind of routine that you can follow, so that you know that, you do this. You have a exact step-by-step guide of what to do. And so, tying it all together, we also need to be very mindful, right? When you eat something, actually take some time to really think about what you're eating, right? How does it taste? How do the textures feel in your mouth? How does it smell? So really think about things that you do. Think intentionally. Don't just do things like a drone. You're not a robot, right? We have feelings, we have senses. So really embrace those feelings and senses. When you gym, I'm not sure the science on this, but when you actually, let's say you're doing curls, right? If you actually focus on your muscle, I think they call it the mind muscle connection, right? You actually focus on your muscle, on how you're contracting, and how all these things are think of the process in your mind, try to see the image of your muscles growing, and right? They found that actually that helps to increase your muscles even more, right? So your mind is super powerful. So really pay attention to things you eat, you drink, things that you hear or watch. Pay real attention and try to use all your senses. Slow down a little bit. We've been conditioned to live in this fast-paced world, and so everything is just passing us by. So really take the time to, slow down and smell the roses, right? I believe that's the same. So really take your time to utilize all of your senses when you're doing something intentionally. Great, brothers. So if you found any value in this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.